Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another weekend KPC Live. Let me know if everything is good. The audio, the sound, the volume, the quality, the video, all of that. I haven't been live streaming in a while, so some of the settings might have changed. But please let me know if everything is normal. And yes, it has been a while. It has been a minute. So let's wait a minute for more people to gather. It's currently at 16 viewers, 22 now. They're all coming in. I think the notifications are being sent. If you're watching this in hindsight or real time, either way, and you haven't turned on your notification bells on, this is the time to do it. And please do me a favor and like this video as well, too. Yes. Hello, everyone. Great to see you. Yes, everything's okay. Thank you for confirming. Yo, David, where have you been, bro? I thought you went to heaven or something. Yeah, I want to go to heaven. Mocha, don't do that again. Don't disappear for too long. I won't. Yeah. I'll explain briefly where I was. I mean, if you were all subscribed to Patreon, you would have already known where I was, what I was doing. So more so of the reason to support me on Patreon. Only $5 a month. Actually, for the exclusive podcast, $10 a month. But yeah. Hello, Nancy, Ryan, Eileen, Shreya, feel the vibe. Looks like a new background. This is my house. Slav, MK, May Girl is Nozia again. Artia, hello Becky, Lenny the God. What are we talking about today? We are talking about a lot of topics. First of all, a little bit of a life update, what I've been up to, what has been the cause of the absence. Just my daily life stuff, since it's a weekend live, and I did prepare some talking points, some unique things, cultural things related to Korean culture and what's been happening nowadays, such and such. So it's gonna be just a very chill live. But yes, hello, Michael, Kimmy, Gugui, Reese, Norbert, The Bard, Coco Bear. Hello, everybody. Great to see y'all in the chat. Please do me a favor and like the stream. And now we have more than 60 people. Yes, we are going. So yeah, looking good, David, and very relaxed. Yes, I am very relaxed. As a matter of fact, I actually worked out today. At the gym, I've been focusing a lot on health and getting my life back into like a healthy cycle. That's been my main focus. And I think I've been half successful. I mean, like starting is what's important, right? So I've been going to the gym, I've been working out, I've been experiencing some kind of concerns about my health in the long term. So I just decided to sleeve up and actually take action. And yeah, I signed up for the gym for another year. And here we are. Today I did back, shoulders, and yeah, it's very, very tough on me right now. But I'm managing. Yeah. I took a nice shower and I was just chilling before the live stream. I fell asleep, I will admit. I was watching a Netflix series, eating dinner, and then, yeah, it was just, I got too comfy and just, I fell asleep. Yeah, it's a series called Gwangjang. I do not know the English name. Let me actually search it up. It's a legendary Naver webtoon. However, very disappointing on Netflix. They made it into a real, what do you call it? Real series, a video series, and very, very disappointing. So I do not recommend. But if you want something to watch for killing time. The English title is called Mercy for None. It's very graphic and very there's a lot of blood and killing people, so I warn you on that. But I really like the webtoon because it was a very iconic series, a Korean series in noir. And I don't know why, but Koreans seem to love noir for some reason. Yeah, we have a few famous noir movies, such as 신세계, New World, and there's also 범죄와의 전쟁. I do not know all of these English names. 범죄와의 전쟁. That is Nameless Gangster Rules of the Time. Something like that. Anyways, classic noir movies. Yeah, it's because Korean culture also has, our society also has the gangsters, right? We're not organized in or big in scale, such as the yakuzas or the mafias or something like that. But every district, every country in the world has its own gangsters. Korea does too, and I guess we're good in making movies. So yeah, people like those movies a lot. If you want to check out how Korean gangsters are, you might want to check out the movies I've mentioned. Nameless Gangster and Shinsegae was very good. What is that in English? That is New World. Yes. Yeah, I like those two. Those are very classic. Yes, you look amazing, David. You're glowing. Thank you, Rachel. And is it more bloody than Squid Games? Yes. I would say like 10 times more bloody. It's not like killing people for game or games. It's literally like John Wick. If you like John Wick, you would like this because it's basically a Korean adaptation of John Wick. There is another noir film by Wonbin, The Man from Nowhere, 아저씨. That's a very famous one. And that's basically the same as John Wick. I don't know which one came out first, the original John Wick or The Man from Nowhere, the Korean version, but they both have in common from John Wick, his dog. I guess he has his own backstory and all that, and the IP goes on forever right now. There's a recent new Ballerina spin-off series where John Wick also appears as well. But basically his dog gets killed and he goes for all like the gangsters and single-handedly handles all of them, right? But yeah, Seo Ji-sup is in The Mercy for None. Yes, he's the main lead. I am not being critical about his acting. It's just that if you've read the original webtoon, it's just a very poor adaptation. That's why. AKA a splatter movie. Okay, that's a good way to put it. But yes, basically it's just one guy just making a horror movie and killing and knifing up all these other gangster guys and chaebols and evil prosecutors and policemen that are like tied together with Korean conglomerates, and they make a huge evil gang. And this guy just goes off for revenge, and it's a whole bloodbath. Yeah. Anyways, Man from Nowhere is from 2010. Is it really that old? Yes, it is. It is. And Wonbin hasn't done any noticeable piece after that. So he's been living in peace. And then after Kim Se-ron, the recently, she's left us, unfortunately. The whole scandal with Kim Soo-hyun and all. She was the female actress in that as a child. She was the one that got abducted in the film, and then Wonbin goes after her, goes to save her, and after she ended her own life, Wonbin actually appeared at her funeral, and that is a very sad backstory. But yeah, he's Wonbin, the actor. He's known to be very like, I wouldn't say antisocial, but not social in a sense of, in the lens of a celebrity. He doesn't do many pieces or works or anything. The only thing he's been doing for a couple 10 years is a commercial called TOP, which is a coffee brand in Korea. But now they've recently changed the model to someone else. I don't know who it is, but I've heard it was changed. 원빈 TOP 광고 교체. Who's the new model? It's someone that I don't know. So Wonbin has been doing the TOP model for 16 years. Wow. But they've found a new model. They are people that I do not know of. But yes. Speaking of the 90s, if you want a really horrific and bloody but amazing masterpiece in Korean cinema, I would definitely recommend the movie called Old Boy. That is from the movie director Park Chan-wook, and he's one of the most famous movie directors in Korea, alongside with Bong Joon-ho from Parasite. But his films are a little bit more grotesque and a little bit more niched, I would say, and dark. While Bong Joon-ho's films are a lot about, like, you know, our society, how crooked it is, how there's like imbalance, disparity between like the rich and poor and all that. He puts that in a, I guess, like a quite satirical comedic spin on it, and he just puts the message out bluntly. But for Park Chan-wook, he's like a pervert in a good way, I would say. But Old Boy is the film. Yeah, and do not look for spoilers before you watch that. And be prepared. Be prepared for some grotesque, gross shit going on in that movie. But I would definitely recommend, because I was like watching that and wow, this is something. Yeah. Old Boy was a masterpiece, but I was traumatized for life not watching anymore. It's that kind of movie I'm talking about. So it's not for everybody, but if you're down for something different, yeah. Do you think that Koreans craving for noir movies because as a release of inner fury? Oh, that actually makes sense, because it's a stress reliever. I mean, it's the same thing as, like, don't get me wrong, it's the same thing as how people play games, like FPS games, shooting games, or, you know, just GTA, or, you know, all these kind of things, or they just consume media that has violence in it. I think while we are social beings and we know that that is wrong, ethically very wrong, and all that, and nobody should murder anybody, but like seeing that in like a virtual, like imaginary screen gives you to some extent, some people, a sense of like catharsis, I guess. It's the same as like in war movies or Hollywood movies where, like, you know, they just blow up everything, they shoot guns at people, but, you know, we know it's fake. It doesn't really, equate to like actual, but like good directors make that happen, right? But anyways, yeah. Okay. Shayla from the States, hello. Anyways, why did I talk about noir and all that? I don't know. But Korean people have a lot of inner fury and stress for sure. I would say relatively, compared to other people in the world. They're definitely not the most chill people out there, so they do need some kind of stress relievers. But we're not like very violent on the outside either, so I think, yeah, like media and violence on screen would be a little bit of like a painkiller in some sense. You're currently hooked on K-pop Demon Hunters and have been singing the songs constantly, especially free, really. K-pop Demon Hunters has been a craze here. Like the popularity of it is crazy. I would say in Korea it's not that much. It's like, oh, it's popping off globally. Like, wow, this is somewhat Korean. Like, we got to check it out. Everybody's talking about it. Whoa, what's so great about it? And like YouTube channels start talking about it first. News report about it, like how it gets global on Spotify and like it beat BTS or whatever in the charts as first number one, fastest number one, blah blah blah, all that, and all these like very flashy headlines are, you know, just permeating towards the Korean audience. And while they were not very interested in the series, I feel like nowadays people around me are like, oh yeah, I've heard of that K-pop thingy on Netflix. Like, do you think it's good? Of course, they're gonna ask me because I'm a K-pop YouTuber. And yeah, so people are liking it. There have been critics writing about it, like how it's so fabulous. I definitely think there's gonna be a sequel. Netflix is never going to let go of this kind of a successful IP. It's a gold mine for them. Look what they did with Squid Game. Squid Game was supposed to be only one season. That's what the director literally said, but Netflix prolonged it into three seasons. And then now they have a Squid Game universe for Squid Game US. Which has rumors that Leonardo DiCaprio might be on it, and it is already confirmed that David Fincher is the producer, the director of the series. So we'll have to see how that unfolds. But yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters is amazing. Like I would say, I mean, it's not honestly for my demographic, like a male in his mid 30s, like animation and K-pop girl group, you know, like something's not right. But as an open-minded person without prejudice and person that loves K-pop and all sorts of different culture, I watch a lot of European and, you know, Taiwanese, and sometimes I watch like C dramas as well too, and Japanese stuff, of course, American Hollywood. I do not really, you know, what do you call this? 편식 in English. This is a word. 편식. My English is glitching. Picky eater. I am not a picky eater. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Be picky about food. Yes. Yeah, I don't know if this is the right meaning, but I just like to broaden my horizon, my spectrum of cultural content. So I always look for new kind of films and recommendations from different cultures. Yeah. I think the US version will ruin Squid Games. Really? K-pop Demon Hunters is nice, yes. Yeah, I mean, give it a try. I mean, David Fincher is an awesome director. I love a lot of his films. Yeah, so I want the sequel to be an animated series of at least 10 plus episodes. Ryan, we got a super fan here. Random Joker, what's up, man? We're all good. Just starting off a live stream today. We're starting off slow with 128 people so far, but it's good to see y'all in the chat. Please don't forget to like that like button. What is your favorite movie, book, and song? My favorite movie is I always have an answer for this. It's The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Is that the English title? 월터의 상상은 현실이 된다. What's the English title? Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Yes, I love that film so much because it's about like spontaneity and also following your passion and also just getting out of the box from your ordinary life. And it's just like this person that's stuck in a loop, a routine of every single day, like with his job that nobody really cares about at National Geographic or something. And I think the main characters acted by Ben Stiller, and he has amazing acting. And he has to just perform this task, and that just butterfly effects into like him ending up in Iceland and ice like skateboarding down like the slopes, the mountains, and just filming like next to a famous photographer that's trying to capture the moment of a mountain liger or a jaguar or something like that. So it's just so amazing, and it feels like it just, you know, gives me an imagination of like, oh, if something happened to me like that, how amazing would it be? Yeah, that's my favorite film. My favorite book is the Great Gatsby. Yes, that is my favorite book. I think it's just very well written, and the perspective is very interesting that it comes from an observer's point of view. And one thing, I did my secondary major. I got my secondary major diploma on English literature, and I had to write a thesis. It's an undergrad thesis, but I had to write something about Fitzgerald. So it has a unique place in my heart. Yeah, sometimes I felt like Gatsby, and like I had a crush on my own Daisy, and and I wanted to be rich, and all that kind of stuff. My favorite song of all time? It's really hard. That's really hard. That is really hard. But I think it would be something within like a Brit rock kind of vibe. Yeah, or so it would either be. This is very random, but it would either be like Oasis, one of Oasis songs, something like "Don't Look Back in Anger." I just love Oasis. It's one of my go-to songs, never gets old. Or it would be Eminem's 8 Mile. Classic. But then if I go over to K-pop, it's always Big Bang. Big Bang every day for me. Give me any Big Bang song, I could rock to it all day long. Nowadays, I've been rocking to the F1 OST with Brad Pitt on it, and that was an amazing film. I saw it recently, and I was at the gym today, and I heard 3 songs on repeat. It was Takedown from K-pop Demon Hunters, that was sung by Twice and the other vocalists, and also one was Jump by Blackpink. I really love that. Diplo did an amazing job producing that. It had like apparently it's like Europop. I have no idea about like European EDM and all the whole scene over there. I know that, what do you call it, the Euro dance or whatever, Eurovision, that's super popular. It just ended a few months ago, but apparently there's a lot of like European EDM influence in the new Blackpink song, and I love it. I've just been like, I played that song 20 times in a row in the gym today. And the other one was the F1 main theme, main OST by Hans Zimmer. His scores are top notch. I would argue that some movies might have not been that level of great without Hans Zimmer. I guess it's the director's vision at the end to pull that out and cast that music director, producer. But yeah, like the new F1 OST slaps so hard. That was crazy. And then we got like the Interstellar ones, we got the Pirates of the Caribbean, all these amazing, yeah, OSTs. Rachel, thank you for the super chat. Pizza, $2. Thank you. Will you watch J-Hope perform Lollapalooza? Yeah, why not? Probably not real time, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it on YouTube. Yeah, as I always do. I always watch all the K-pop, all the Korean acts. Either it's on Heads on the Clouds or Lollapalooza or Coachella or somewhere else, like whether it's like TXT, New Jeans, Jennie, Blackpink, J-Hope, all of them. Yeah, I always love watching them perform. Yeah. Oh, David is open-minded. Not in the Hongdae boy term. That term has definitely distorted in a wrong way. Yes, Teddy is on fire these days. Meow. All Day Project and KDH. Exactly. I mean, it's wrong to say that he's on fire these days. He's always been on fire, to be honest. Yeah. I started watching the Rich Bitch Show because of you, Dave. What is the Rich Bitch Show? I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm a 52 ajashi and love KDH. Watched for the second time yesterday. Okay, congrats. Well, if you want to watch the third time with me, patreon.com/KoreanPizzaClub. For only $3, you get to do a watch party with me. Yeah. Well, I mean, I might be munching on some food while I'm watching, but yeah. Let's see. They should learn from their mistake with Squid Game and just leave K-pop Demon Hunters as is. I think as long as the producers are intact. I mean, I did see a very intriguing critique from one of Korea's most famous movie critics. His name is Lee Dong-jin. It was like an hour-long critique about K-pop Demon Hunters, how great it is. But then, of course, as a critic, he does have some constructive feedback and his predictions. And one part that hit me kind of, yeah, it was very interesting to hear his thought in the point Kel actually pointed out, is that he thinks that it's going to be very hard to preserve the novelty or the wow factor of K-pop Demon Hunters if it's expanded into other episodes, because what he points the glamour effect, the spice effect of K-pop Demon Hunters is that it has Korean lore, it has Korean details, like stuff that in the foreigner's point of view, like not for you guys, like you guys know a lot of stuff, but people who are not adjacent or have been exposed to K-pop or Korea or in any kind of way, they're watching in a form of animation because they've heard of the hype, but the animation dissolves the cultural lifestyle and food and the mannerisms of Korean people on how they live, the streets, the food, the traditional characters and the outfits and the designs and the symbolisms in the background from our royal palace and all that. So all these kind of things have a say in the value of the film itself. However, what he's arguing is that now that has been exposed and that card has been used, it's going to be hard to replicate that success or that X factor of K-pop Demon Hunters, despite regarding like it is going to have the same amount of good plot, good songs, OSTs, and all that. And he's wondering, like, what more can they pull off from this? Like, if we can't do Korea, they're probably going to fly off to like the global scene. It might take place in North America or Europe or somewhere else, blah blah blah. So how are they going to make that, and how are they going to revive the Saja boys? Are they just going to discard the character at all, or are they going to make a magical kind of convenient storyline saying that the Saja boys are somehow revived or whatever? So yeah, there were a lot of interesting facts he pointed out, and quite valid, to be honest. But overall, he was like very, very proud and complimentary about the series itself, and I really agree. Yeah, K-pop Demon Hunter was amazing. Yes. Yes. Thanks, David, for answering my question. No probs. You got a super chat. Appreciate that again, Rachel. I'm a little behind on the chat. Please understand. Bronny, David, I'm coming back to Seoul in 2026. Hopefully things are not that expensive now. Seoul has never been an expensive city, to be honest. The living costs here are okay compared to like all the other places I've been to quite recently. Seoul is heaven. It might, the only place cheaper might be Southeast Asia or somewhere else, but yeah, like places I've been to recently, Europe or the US, oh no, I couldn't even afford to eat out or do anything there. Yeah. The only thing here that is super expensive is the housing prices. So that is what the younger generation is hopeless about. But you'll be fine with the costs. Yeah. DiCaprio should have won a Grammy for The Great Gatsby or Wolf of Wall Street. Django Unchained was great. Yes. DiCaprio's always an amazing actor. Yeah. He knows how to choose his movies. Like even in Interstellar too, and also the Leviathan. I think. Yeah, that's the name, right? All his movies, Catch Me If You Can, Titanic, every one of them. Yeah. Hello, David from Hawaii. Hello, Plush Mickey. Yes. Let's see. Okay, I'm reading through your comments. Give me some time. Elaine, hello. Hi, David. Your skin is glowing today. The Great Gatsby is on our higher English curriculum. Did you like Squid Game 3? I was kind of disappointed it lost its way. Yeah, as I told you on DK News, go subscribe to DKDKTV if you want the Korean entertainment news and the tea. But Squid Game 3 overall, I mean they did a good job extending it, I guess. But the two things my biggest icks for Squid Game 3 is the first one is the detective. Why is he even in the series? The only functionality of him is that he ends the game because he's like this investigator and he brings in the police and the games end there. But the only interaction he has with his sole purpose with his older brother, the front man. Oh shit, am I spoiling? But anyways, spoiler alert. They just stared at each other and that's it. And then he receives the baby and that's it. So I do not understand why. And the detective, he takes so freaking long to find that island. About like by the time he arrives, the games are already over. They're blowing up the island. So I just don't I'm just so stressed out. Like, let's just put it like that. I'm just freaking stressed out by that character. He goes in circles and circles, and he believes he's so naive. He believes the captain of the ship and all that. So that was a very big ick. The second one is the baby plot armor. Everything revolves around the baby, and I can basically see what the director was going for. He was like, okay, how do I make this a grandiose, perfect ending where I can portray my message and also, like, you know, end the games, like end the loop. I don't think he would have wanted or was able to continue the loop other than like passing the baton over to Squid Game US and say that, oh, the Squid Game goes on in other countries, ... That was probably the only way he was contracted in to just continue the cycle from going. Other than that, he was probably just confined to end the Korean scene in some way. And he was like, how do I magically end this? You know? And it's the baby, I would say. I think when he thought of the baby idea, oh, let's introduce a baby as a contestant. A baby is sinless, is powerless, does not have its own, I guess, until now, free will of action and all that. What if a baby could win the Squid Games? He would be like, oh my gosh, I can imagine him in a random cafe thinking of that idea and clapping for himself, saying like, oh my gosh. And then afterwards, he put the baby there and he's like, how do I make this baby win? And then he like reverse engineers from the baby to like the main characters and make them do irrational behavior that would never occur in a setting like Squid Game. And he bends characters and games and rules for the baby to end up as the number one, and he even kills the main character for the sake of the baby. So when I was seeing that, I was like, okay, dude, I get it. The baby is a fantastic idea. I have to give it to you that I never saw this coming by season 1. But bro, like you have to stop bending everything just for the sake of the baby. But yeah, I mean, I should have seen it coming as soon as there was a pregnant girl in the games, but maybe I was just believing in the what do you call it, the violent and ruthless Squid Game 1, where people that had very sad backstories all die. So I was thinking by season 2, like, oh, even if she is pregnant, she might just die, and people will be like, oh my gosh, that's like, a baby died with her. That's so sad. And then, Im Siwan, the father of the baby, dies together, and it's like a whole family dying. So I was honestly predicting that picture. I never thought that the baby would get all the plot armor and then proceed on. And even the VIPs are like, I think it's going to be fun. Let's include the baby and let's do a bet. All that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was my biggest ick. If it was more in a rational way that made sense, then it would have been good. But okay, yeah, I'll stop bitching about it here. Yeah. Let's see. Just let Squid Game be. Yes. Okay. Soda Pop was good. All songs are great. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm way back on the chat. David missed out on the Blackpink concert. He talked about it in his jump reaction. Yes, I did do a jump reaction on Just David. For those of you who don't know, I have a dormant channel that has more than 80k subscribers. It was at 1.100k. But yeah, if you know, you know. It's quite ironic that it has more subscribers than KPC. But I just revived it just out of, I don't know. I just wanted to do a reaction to Blackpink, and I just did it. And I thought doing a reaction, it only made sense for me to do it on a reaction channel, right? So, yeah. Yeah, he started off well and then became like, what? I agree with the baby. Yeah. Will you visit SC next year? It's very affordable. Rachel. Going to the States itself is not affordable. I'm sorry. Yeah. So many plot holes. Yeah, the detective was basically useless in my opinion. No offense. Exactly. I mean, yeah. Moving out of your studio, going to the gym, are you rebooting your life, David? Yes. Scandinavia has changed me in very positive ways, and I've been preaching this. I've been literally preaching this to all of my friends. It's like the cheat code. I say, and hear me out. It's so funny because I stress them out. Whenever I hear someone complain about their life, like how they want to die, not to that extent. Like, we just 죽고 싶다. It's like, I want to die in like a very funny way. I know we shouldn't joke about it, but like, yeah. Anyways, whenever my friends are like, oh, from work, they're so tired, exhausted, they don't see a future, they don't know what they're doing right now, they're stressed with like, marriage concerns, or I don't know, whatever it is. One of my friends recently came over to my house and he was like, oh shit, like I'm so stressed. I want to move to the countryside. I don't want to live in Seoul anymore. Seoul's getting into my head. Like, why is everybody so like competing with each other? Why is housing prices so expensive? Maybe I can just go to like the countryside and do farming and whatever. Every time I see any of my friends, I'm like, bro, girl, you should take a trip to Scandinavia. Go to Sweden, go to Denmark, go to Norway, if you want to count it in, like Finland, yeah, and the Nordic countries. Go there, talk to some people, hang out in some like outdoor cafes, go to the beach and hang out there until like midnight. I was literally at the beach and the sun was setting at like 10:30 p.m. in Finland, in Helsinki. That was crazy. It was so nice. But anyways, I was like, just go over there and see how people live there. Listen to their mindsets. And then they all just argue. I mean, of course, like they're the happiest countries and they got their welfare. Like what's if we had that social welfare system, it would be the same for I don't think so, quite honestly. I think in order for that welfare to make sense and to have a foundation, the mindset of the people, the consensus or the collective mindset of people should have collective belief in the system and society, and they shouldn't be trying to like step on over each other and like just see other people as like lesser beings and think capitalism is everything and just, you know, everyone's survival of the fittest. Like with that mindset, like the hyper capitalistic mindset existing, I don't think Korea would ever become like anything close to a welfare driven or socialist. Some people might argue socialism doesn't work, but there are hybrid working models. So I think, yeah, that is the missing link in Korea. However, Korea is Korea, and it still has a happiness index of number 6. I don't know who surveyed that, but yeah, it is what it is. Our GDP has surpassed Japan's quite recently. We're up there in a developed nation status, first world, very convenient, very safe, tons of entertainment, and if you succeed here, you actually make it big. So there are pros and cons, but yeah, I've been telling my friends like, bro, take a trip to Sweden. It's gonna open your mind, because that's what it did to me. I went there and I left a lot of my insecurity there. I saw people focusing one thing at a time, the slow mindset, and just doing whatever you want to do, what you're passionate about, and that just alleviated a lot of my insecurity and anxiety inside me. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna count my blessings. I have a loving family. I have friends around me. I have a roof. I have an amazing subscriber base. I have a YouTube channel. I have made a career in life, a living for more than 7-8 years already off of content creation, which I love. I get perks here and there of traveling the world and going to fancy parties and meeting pretty people and like meeting idols, interviewing them sometimes. So yeah, it's not that much of a bad life. Like right now I'm in a little bit of a slump because I have restarted my channel. There was a major major shift in life, and I am quite anxious in the inside. I'm not gonna lie that maybe I should have to go corporate. This is my golden timing. If I lose this, like, I'm never gonna be able to get into a company and work until 40, 50. But on the flip side, like, yeah, I've done some businesses so far. I've gotten experience. They weren't total failures. I still have one living, and I'm ready to revamp it. So like I'm like, yeah, I have these many tools and assets. So like I have some savings as well too. Crypto's going up. I think this is a big factor that has alleviated some of the heavy burdens. But Bitcoin is at its all-time high. Literally no one in the world is now sad about Bitcoin unless you shorted it. But Bitcoin is at its all-time high. Ethereum is going up there, so hopefully, yeah. Korean stocks are going bazooka because the new president is trying to make the new Korean stock market transparent and competitive. He's trying to get rid of the Korean discount by regulation and making laws stronger and watching out for the individual investors. So I guess there's a lot of liquidity in the whole world in general, and the interest rates are slightly hinting to go down. I'm sorry, I'm not going to talk about economy anymore, but yeah, and then there's the Trump tariffs coming soon. But anyways, like, yeah, I see a lot of positivity, and I've shifted to the positive mindset, a little bit of a more or less anxious state, and I'm just doing things slowly. I'm not like pushing myself. Let's just do one thing and another. I'm setting priorities. My host in Sweden really gave me a nice lesson about that, on thinking about like investing in yourself, your loved ones, families, and your career and all that, and think which one is a priority. And in the long term, what do you need to succeed and all that. And I did like a whole, dissection. And at the end of the day, I think, like I need some time for myself and my family and my relationships before my career as well, in order to be happy at the end. And career and money isn't everything. Of course, money is very important in our modern society to sustain yourself, especially in a place like Korea. We do have nice healthcare though, like unlike the U.S. No shade, but yeah, we can afford not to die if we are in a medical emergency or get like a disease or whatever. But anyways, yeah. So basically, I've just eased out on a lot of my inner anxieties, and I've been building things maybe from scratch or just revamping, refreshing, and small little baby steps, such as going to the gym again, such as eating healthier, cutting less, cutting on junk food, maybe trying to see some new people, and experimenting with new business opportunities. Nowadays, if you've watched my Patreon exclusive podcast, you will know that I've been getting new opportunities in an agency kind of perspective with influencer marketing. So that's very fun. That might be a very big potential business idea in the future. I've been adventuring in that. And on more tangible kind of things, wrapping up the studio, cleaning it up, and just organizing the relationship of Piroso and my co-partner Jin. All that's solved. So like basically I'm telling you what I've been doing for the past few weeks of why I was absent. So I came back from the trip. I did a whole assessment on my life. Of course there was post-trip depression, all that. I was just like at home, and like the jet lag that took me like a week. But then I had some agency work, freelance work. I did have to do like the freelance work with the US thingy too. But other than that, I just dealt with all the real estate stuff, the contracts, and just finding a new tenant for the new studio, packing that up, getting like the logistics solved. So that was one big week. And then another big week was moving that all in. I mean, I moved all of the stuff when I moved out, but then it was just scattered all over the place in my house. And in order for myself to like build like this is a humble setting. This is not complete. But then as I told you before, I'm not going to stall more time on making fancy backgrounds or whatever. Just go on the camera, just create, talk more, invest more time with you guys. So I got my priorities straight, got myself a elevating desk, which I really wanted because I can walk and talk at the same time. I'll show you later, but I have a moving walk underneath my my desk, so I can elevate this desk. So if you can see, ooh, it is going up. Yes, and I can stand up. Yes, I got one of these desks because not only because the function itself is cool, but it's because it's good for my back, and it's good like for people like me that edit all day long, or just sit in front of their desks so long. It's good for me to like stand in a while, just get the blood flowing and all that. So I have like a gigantic screen lights and cameras all here, and I got my couches in the back, and I had to clean up a lot of stuff from my grandma's house. Those curtains are new stuff too. They were very old, dirty yellow curtains before, but I'm trying to like modernize it a little bit. And the biggest thing is oh shit, it's not showing. Is 3 layers. That over there. I'm not even sponsored, but I will give that a 10 out of 10. That thing over there that is showing that little whimming sound right now, that is an LG portable air conditioner. And the core reason, excluding all the aforementioned stuff, like, oh yeah, definitely I was busy with work and moving and all that, but the core reason is, even after I got all this set, it became summer, scorching hot, and I could not do a single minute of live streaming in this room without that air conditioner. But the thing is, I had to figure out the mechanics of how I'm going to install an air conditioner. And you might think, oh, just like install an air conditioner on the wall or something, right? But then it's not that simple, because I already have an air conditioner in my own room, and my grandma never had one because she just stays out of the cold. She likes it being warm and hot. But apparently, because of like the ventilators, or like the thingies that are on the walls that just push out the hot air for air conditioning, apparently for my apartment, because like the scaffolds or the fences are just not strong enough, or because of architectural problems, you cannot have multiple air conditioners in this house. The only way you do it is like you have a dual inverter or whatever. I have no idea with engineering or whatever, but that means I would have to change the air conditioner type in my room and this room as at the same time, and get that one and combine them into one. I didn't want to do that. That was super expensive. So I looked for alternatives, and I got that LG portable air conditioner. And actually that one, it doesn't need to install like a venting spot or whatever, because it's built in over there. I'm actually going to show you. So if I shut off the curtains, it shows you like you can put like a I'll just show you. Like, it just connects the duct, the ventilation duct actually just connects to your window, and it's just like a universal attachable for any kind of window in any kind of household. And you could just take that off, go to the other room or whatever. I'm just being a salesperson over here, but I'll show you. Oh my god, my pants right now are some childish I think it's Disney or whatever, green pants. I don't want to show you my pants, but I will show you because I'm so enthusiastic about that tech over here, a portable air conditioner, and it's very, very cool. So give me like 10 seconds, I'll show you. So this is covered neatly, but if you put over here, you see these 2 ducts, right? And it's putting out cold air, it sucks out the hot air and it pushes it out. And this plastic piece, so this is my window, and it's now like attached to the window, and this is plastic, and you can stretch them up and down. And yeah, it just took me like 10 minutes to install, literally. And it doesn't look ugly on camera because I can literally just cover it up with my curtains. And voila. I don't know if you heard that or anything, but yeah, that's just amazing. That's amazing. So yeah, technology can buy you nowadays. Like that's just amazing. And this desk, I'm 180 centimeters. That's my height, but this goes up to 118 centimeters, and it's just perfect for me. Yeah, it's biologic. What do you call it? Orgodynamic, whatever you call that. It's really nice. But anyways, I've been hyping up the portable air conditioner, but that was the big key piece of what enabled me to do the live streaming. Yeah, today. That was installed like 2 days ago. But I think I missed a lot of chats, including a super chat, right? It's no longer even in the chat ninja. I am super sorry that I cannot highlight it, and 200 people are watching, but let me go to the super chat. The Bard, thank you for the 695 Swedish kronas. I plan to visit Korea in April next year. Hooray! Yes, that is in 8 months. Oh, my math. 5 months plus 4, 9 months. Okay, and April is the best time. It is the best time. Hope you catch the cherry blossoms. Yeah, but anyways, let me know if you're here. But yes, I am super, super happy that I'm finally live streaming again. I've been yapping on for so long right now. I don't even know what I was yapping about. And then it all ended up to that portable air conditioner. Okay. That's because there's not the expectations that there is in SK. That's a big problem too. There high expectations, competition, and I don't know why, but Korean people always think we have to be the best in everything. Like right now with the Trump tariffs and all that, all the other countries, they have their own ways of dealing with it. Brazil and Japan are thinking of Canada and Brazil are retaliating. Japan is like seriously offended because they've been sucking up like 7 times. They've, given President Trump and the US everything they want, but they ended up with the same. I shouldn't be laughing, but they ended up with the same amount of tariff as Korea. So they got very offended, and the Japanese, the parliament and the members there are like, despite our amazing relationship with the US, we are very offended by the recent, tariff results, and we need to seek a way where we can independently function without the US or whatever. So talks are coming in like that. But the point was, what was I getting to? Yeah. Even with the tariff stuff, we always talk about the industries, like the cars, the semiconductors, cultural content, food, clothes, beauty products, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, if we lose in any one of those sectors, we cannot manage. We need to get more sectors that we're number one in. Why can't we have an NVIDIA that's Korean? Why can't we have a Facebook of our own? Why doesn't our government endorse Bitcoin like Singapore or the US? And why are we losing in the stable coin war? Korean people are so paranoid about being left behind in any kind of industry, while we're excelling in so many areas right now. And it's just mind-blowing to think this country that's smaller than a state of the US is a powerhouse in ship making, cars, semiconductors, heavy steels, cultural exports, food, beauty, all that kind of stuff. It's just mind-blowing, and nobody knows how to count their blessings, and nobody knows how to be proud about it. It's just anxiety about we're losing market share. Did you see the new Samsung Z Fold? Oh my gosh, I think Samsung's going to go down. What's happening? All that blah 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 blah. So it's just very toxic in my opinion. Yeah. Oh, there we go. We have the super chat. Yes. Yeah. Okay, standing desk. Nice, thank you. My uncle has that desk for his PC. Yes, thank you. I haven't tested the running machine and the desk combo yet on live because I'm afraid that the static or the machine sound might affect the quality of the audio, but maybe I will try it out at the end of the stream. By the end of the stream. I got a portable aircon. Yes. Walking pad is on my buy to list, so I walk or move more. Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of work while I'm walking in this desk setting, and I think it's been productive. It's been very good for me. I like doing two things at the same time. Not in the sense of doing two focus tasks that disperse my attention, and it doesn't allow me to do two things at once. Not that kind of multitasking, but things like walking and thinking at the same time, or walking or doing subtitle work or something. Yeah. It's like a nudge. You know, did you read the book The Nudge? I really like that book. It's like a little nudge or a little shift in detail or habit or something like that can make a very big change in result. And just setting that little nudge is very important. And I guess this isn't really like a good example, but I feel like that way. Like, you know, once I just got this set, long term wise, it's going to be good for my back, for my health, for my stamina, for everything. So yeah, I'm really satisfied. Korea is steaming hot right now. Yes, it's monsoon season. This year, luckily, I don't know if it's lucky because monsoon, there is supposed to be rain, but there isn't rain. So I don't know if that's actually good, but monsoon season has passed without that much rain, but there's a lot of heat. It's raining right now. It's predicted to be raining for 2 more days in a row. But yeah, Hilda, hello. I watch you while cleaning my house. That's really nice to hear. Clara, Benjamin, hello, David. And yes, we did miss you. And yes, we have 184 people watching. Please hit that like button, please. Oh, you had 2 portable ACs. Love them. Okay. Okay. I want to talk about those pants. Ryan can't stop talking about K-pop Demon Hunters. By the way, Ryan, I used the fantastic leather card wallet when I was in Europe. Yeah, because I normally go around like walletless because I have Samsung Pay in Korea, but I was just frightened that Samsung Pay might malfunction in Europe. But that was just my own, stupid concern. I didn't have to be concerned anyways. But I put a lot of cards and all that in the wallet, and I used it really well. And sometimes, even in Korea, for like important occasions when I'm out for a long time, when my batteries might have the potential of dying, I'm using it really well. So thank you so much to the Singapore fam again. Yes. Ergonomic. Yes, I knew that word. Yeah. Hey, K-Stash, gotta stay cool. It's really hot everywhere. Here in Michigan, we are in the July heat. Whew. Yes. Heat. The yapping streams are the best. Thank you. David and his gadgets this week. Portable air conditioner, last life, food waste composer. Oh yes, that has just changed my life so much. I cannot stress the importance and the value of the food waste composer enough, because literally it has not only freed me from my earthly tasks of going down all the way to like the recycle place and opening that smelly food thingy with my card, and I have to pay for that as well too, to dispose food waste, and like all the flies, and I have to keep that in the sink, and like I have to all that, and it smells. That is all gone. But on top of that, I found a new perk. I don't know if I mentioned this on the live stream, but the actual perk of having a food dispenser, food waste composer, for me, is a single person that lives by himself. There are a lot of pros and cons. It's definitely convenient, but at the same time, people like me can't go to Costco. I love Costco. I just like the feel of it. I could literally go around Costco for the whole day and just look at all the food and the abundance. But the downside for me, people like me, is like I can't buy in bulk because I just can't handle that much volume of food. Either it's going to rot, it's going to expire, or either I'm just going to get too tired of it. So I don't really get the advantage of buying in bulk or something like that. I don't know why I'm even talking about Costco. I was going somewhere. But anyways, because of that, logically the stream is like, because of that, I can't really cook that much at home because I have to buy all the ingredients all by myself, and usually they sell it in packages, right? Even if you're buying like some kind of ingredient, it's usually for like a family setting, and it just feels like, I'm wasting more money just buying groceries sometimes, right? So that's why for single people like me, there are meal kits. There's delivery food that's affordable. Sometimes it's just better to go out and eat at like hanjik buffets. But anyways, what I'm saying is, in terms of delivery and meal kits, I had a lot of restrictions because some certain foods have a lot of food leftovers. I'm telling you, like if you buy some kind of jjigae, like a sundubu jjigae, or like a seafood 해물탕 or something like that, I love eating it, but there are a lot of leftovers, and because of that reason, I just don't eat it, right? I don't eat it normally. But with the food waste composer, because it could just grind everything, I have no problem eating all sorts of food I love. So the spectrum of what I can eat has just widened so much because I don't have that fear anymore of having to, go through all the food waste and feeling bad, and also, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's the biggest perk of that. And I've been yapping about a food waste composter again for another 10 minutes, I believe. But, yeah. I love gadgets. Maybe I should have been a tech YouTuber, but I'm to be fair, I would be a horrible tech YouTuber because I just love giving my yaps and my reviews about them in like a livelihood manner. But tech YouTubers need to know about like the power capacities, or like the functions, or the little gimmicks and details of it, and blah 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 blah, and the chips and the anyways, I love the long lives. Thank you. Okay, let's see. I do not know what you guys are talking about because I've been talking about so many stupid topics. Yeah. Singapore doesn't approve cryptocurrency. I don't know about the government's policies itself, but it's a well-known fact that most of the cryptocurrency headquarters or big forums or whatever are all located and held in Singapore, and the government is very friendly, pro-crypto. But I don't know about stable coins or whatsoever, but the Korean news always brings up Singapore when it's talking about cryptocurrency, and the US right now. Yeah. Let's see. The folding Samsung looks really nice, yes. Marquez Brownlee is my go-to guy for tech reviews. Yes. Nudge is a great book. It is. Yeah. I believe the low number of viewers is because of European Football Championship. Oh. Yeah, and I heard there's the Wimbledon going on right now too. It's Sinner versus Alcaraz, right? Nowadays I have like a short attention span, and also I have a lot of things to do. So I would normally just hang out with my friends in Itaewon at a sports pub and watch like all the Grand Slams for tennis matches, especially if it was like Djokovic or, I kind of, to be fair, okay, so this is another yapping moment of, I'm sorry if you're not a tennis fan, but to be fair, ever since the transition to this younger generation, I think I've lost a little bit of interest in comparison to when Nadal and Djokovic and Federer was a long time ago, but like the big three over there was thriving, and we had other players as well that were trying to threaten compete to their throne and all that. That was the good old days. But nowadays, maybe I'm just old. Yeah, but Alcaraz, Sinner, they're all amazing players. Fritz, but the new generation just doesn't really have like a big, massive appeal to me. It's the same for European football for some reason. I'm going on a tangent here, but even for like Like if you looked at the Ballon d'Or, or like the Champion League, and like the best players before, like, I'm talking about the era of Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, Ramos, Piqué, Iniesta, who else? Like I could go on, Casillas and all that. But nowadays you see, like, I can't even name that many. No shade, but like Harry Kane, Yamal. I can't name anymore. Like, yeah. I can't even name the Real Madrid players and Barcelona players. Maybe it's just my general interest going down, but I feel like the stardom and the popularity and even the level of football was even better like a decade ago. Yeah, and it was like extended until now, but then they're all now at Saudi or the MS League. As for Son, I don't know where he's going to go, but there are rumors he's considering Miami, where Messi is, or the MS League. But okay, I won't talk about this anymore because you guys are probably not interested. You should try the walking pad out live. I use it while on virtual calls for work, and the noise cancellation on my mic and setting cancels it out. Okay, yeah, I should try it out. Yeah, I'll try it out at the end of the stream. Yes. They should sponsor you, David. LG, please sponsor me. Yes. You're wrong, David. South Korea's population is only around 5 million, so South Korea is way bigger than my simple little state that I hope you visit one day. Thank you for the 10, Rachel Pizza. What did I say about South Carolina? Oh, in terms of population, but I'm sure if you go with like landmass and size, yeah. Oh, my dog is just like, walking down there. Why did this suddenly glitch? Is everything okay on your side? Because my screen says internet connection is lost. I hope it's okay. Let's see. Yeah, I hope everything's fine. I might have to switch up the chat again, but let's see. All okay. Okay, that's great. I'm learning so much about South Carolina thanks to these lives thing. Michael. Someone should get David as a reviewer, as a user. All that enthusiasm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would be a good... I'm a very nice person in terms of leaving reviews for the delivery apps. Because, whenever I order food, Korean restaurants or like these food places usually have an option of like, if you leave a review, we will give you free 2 chicken wings or something like that. I usually always go for it. Like, okay, 2 free buffalo wings. Yeah, for sure. Boop. And then I get it, and then I take a picture of it, and then I put the review down, and it's like, this is a fantastic place. We're a very cost-efficient, value for the food. It tastes amazing. It's hot when it's delivered, and the 사장님 seems like such a nice person. Blah 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 blah. I put everything 5-star review, and then I even give a 5-star to the delivery rider. I would give a tip if I was in America, but no, we're in Korea. But yeah, I'm a very good reviewer. Nice reviewer, yeah. They are not stupid topics, they're interesting things. The Blackpink new song is so good. Bum 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 bum. Yes, I want to go for a recharge. Oh yeah, and also, I've been thinking for my live streams, I want to bring more guests now that like I've established a stable space for the live stream. So like we had Anna, we had John. So yeah, actually I need to catch up with John. John actually messaged me the other week, and I think we never followed up. But anyways, I'm intending to bring more guests for like more fun live streams. So look forward to that. But in the case of Anna, I was just talking to her the other day, and of course she has her own concerns too with life recently, and she was like talking blah blah blah, and I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, you're a grown-up adult, you'll probably sort that out all by yourself. I'm just gonna give you my 2 cents. But on top of that, Why not? You go on a trip to Scandinavia. Yeah, it totally changed my mind. Yeah, there's another friend I'm working with right now with the agency work. He recently left his job from Google and he started his own company and he's doing like DJ stuff and a lot of other fun stuff. But apparently there's been some conflicts or some hardships with the business. Like business isn't easy, right? So he lives right around our neighborhood and we got together for like a brunch. And then I was like talking to him and he was like, "Hyung, could you give me some like advice or whatever?" And I was like, "Go to Scandinavia." The magical world that's gonna sit in the Tivoli garden of Copenhagen at a restaurant and admire the Lord of the Rings looking scenery and go to Helsinki and go to the island. You can go from a ferry and you can you can see the water and the ocean, the shimmering lights and green and all that and get recharged. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, but anyways, bottom line, I told Anna to go to Sweden too. And then I was like, I'm not going to go into her private concerns or whatever, anyways, worries. But basically, I was telling Anna, like, like, I think Korea's got into your head too nowadays. Like, you're from, I mean, you culturally relate a lot from UK culture right now. But, like, I feel like, that side of you has kind of diminished a little bit. I'm not saying that's bad, but I'm saying maybe you could balance that off because you have a more open mind, and that's why you should maybe try Scandinavia. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Hopefully, I can get Anna back on the stream just for like a friendly stream, and we can talk for like a moment there. I feel like people will love that. Yeah, and John too. Yes. Hello, doll baby. Oh, speaking of John, John's #1 fan, Dolly Baby, is right here. Speak of the devil. Okay, $20. Thank you so much. Pizza. See, like, since I'm standing, I can be more lively. It might be a little frantic for you. Like, let me know if you don't like me, like, moving around and all that. But, like, at least for the reactions, I can dance around. Right? Yeah. Okay. Guadalupe Mendez. Hi, David. I'm in bed. I got sick. I hurt my leg when I was getting off the truck, so I hurt my knee. What? I hurt my niece? So I'll find out in 2 more weeks. I woke up late right in bed. I'm watching you now in bed. What? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I hope you heal fast. I feel so bad for you. Yeah. Like, rest well, sleep well, eat well, and hopefully you have a swift recovery. Yeah, I feel, oh my gosh, that is horrible. Okay, let's see. But we'll still watch the World Cup though. It's the FIFA World Cup right now, right? So, which teams are up there? Or is it like the European World Cup? I'm not even keeping track. Last time I saw PSG versus it was Real Madrid. I think PSG actually butchered them. PSG is like the most prominent team out there, I think. Yeah. Show your dog. Oh, she's not in a good state right now. I'd prefer her to be like unbothered. Yeah. Happy to hear that you found the card holder useful. 정말 다행이요. Thank you so much, Mel. Thank you so much. I wish I had it next to me. Actually, it's in my other room over there, so I can show it off on screen with the black premium leather with David Kim, golden letter over there. But yeah, I use it really well for, especially when I'm wearing like suits and I'm in fancy settings, and then I just pull it off. It looks just very classy. And I have a black card, which is not like an American Express black card. It's a Kungmin KB Bank black card. The color is just black, and I pulled that out. Okay. Ujuro SBR. Hi, Harleen. Hello. Davey feels like dancing. I missed Anna. Yeah, let's try to get her on stream. Yeah. John, yes. See? The sole mentioning of John made Dolly Baby send a donation of $10. That is so funny to me. Yeah. Your ID will always be Dolly Baby for me just because of John. I want to find that original moment where he just mispronounces it as Dolly Baby. Oh, that was just so funny. And then something about like elder fans or something. That was so funny. Okay. Yeah. Hello, Chandler. But David, have you heard the new AT song In Your Fantasy? Now that's a banger, literally. I will check it out. I haven't heard it yet. Yes. But I will hear it. I will give it a listen, and if it maybe it's going to make it to my workout playlist. Bum 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 bum. For Blackpink's Jump though, a lot of Koreans didn't like it in the beginning in the concert in Goyang because they felt like it was like bongchak. So bong is like a slang word for Korean trot, and it has like bing 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 like that kind of sound like bum 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 bum. Yeah, so it could be seen as trot, but then trot and Euro EDM is kind of similar. They say the genre is like trance or something. I have no idea. My musical knowledge does not extend to that length. But we have a similar it's not similar at all, but the beat, the sound, or the BPM is kind of similar. And we use it in like amor fati bam 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 bam, or 나를 사랑으로 채워줘요. 사랑의 배터리가 다 됐나. So stuff like that, and then the background music is like so it's like that. So we have similar musical beats in trot like that. So people thought the Blackpink song initially was 뽕짝, and people actually kind of look down upon 뽕짝 in a sense because it's kind of cheap. Like it gives happiness to a lot of people, and since the COVID era, Im Young-un, which is now the trot king, he's making bank. He literally sells out stadiums. I think he, next to BTS, is probably the most influential figure in Korea, and the unique thing is his fan base is all over 40, and it goes all up to like the 90s, 40 to 90s. But anyways, yeah, people when they first heard Blackpink's Jump, they were like, "Oh, that's 뽕짝. Like, what the hell is that song?" But now everybody's like, "Boop boop 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 boop." Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yes, I'm his #1 fan. Actually quite enjoying Active David. Yes, I think my neighbors will hate me though. That's another factor I'm careful about, like the treadmill, because like I think I could do it on my 10 a.m. stream. Actually not, because like I still have to focus a little bit more on the articles, but like it would make sense more for me to do the treadmill on these chill lives. But then like it's 2:30 a.m. here. And I live in an apartment, so actually I'm not sure if like me speaking in this kind of volume, what the hell, 안돼, in this kind of volume is actually going through the roof or the bottom. So I gotta be actually careful, you know. I didn't think about it because it's my first live stream. Yeah. Hello, Edward Choi. I like the standing up animated David. Oh no, what happened to Darong? Darong is actually in Busan, and she is in good care from my mother and grandma and my father. Right now we have Jomsun over here. I can show her for a bit, but she's now active. She was trying to go on the couch, but like she was just sleeping and she wasn't feeling well today, so I'd just rather let her alone. But now she's like scratching my leg, so I'll just show you for a split second. 점순아, 아이고, 또 거기 있었어? Hello. 인사해. 안녕. 안녕. Yeah. Okay. Whew. Okay. I love jump. I love trot. Which genre of Korean music do you think has the most artistic value? As a Korean, which artists are and works are you most proud of? I don't think we have original Korean music that's super popular. If you would say popularity is a metric of being proud, I would say that I take that into account for a bit personally. And K-pop essentially is a mix of everything, so I don't think it could be. Well, then you could argue that K-pop is Korean because of all those other factors and the fact that it is mixed up. So, yeah, I'm in general proud about K-pop, but nowadays I'm kind of proud of Korean indie rock. It doesn't even have to be rock. I think I'm proud of the Korean indie scene because it's actually penetrating the market to some extent. Because like in the old days, indie was just literally like by the definition in the word itself, it was only confined to like Hongdae and some like artistic people, and there was like a minority that consumed it. But nowadays, these indie bands are really just surfacing, and the biggest one I heard is a band called Wave to Earth. I've never heard of them before, but I've heard a lot of good reviews, and a lot of my friends listen to that band a lot, and they say they might not be the traditional indie band, but they do have that signature indie sound that derives from Korean indie band sound from bands like Channabi or Black Skirts or other bands as well. We have famous indie bands such as 10 centimeters, 10cm, and also 장기야. I really admire Changia's music. But anyways, like there's a school of music over there, there's a vibe over there, and that kind of became globalized and Englishified and more modernized, and then people assess that that's the result of Wave to Earth. So yeah, I've yet to hear any of their songs, but like a friend that was staying at my house for a while, he's a really big fan. I've seen some really big followers on my Instagram, mutual friends as well. So yeah, I think the indie scene is popping nowadays, and I'm proud because it's very interesting to see like underground Hongdae sound transcending and just going viral and global. Yeah, and it's not like a hyper capital based music like K-pop, right? Of course, I'm proud of aespa. Of course, like, oh wow, like if anyone was like, oh, do you have a music video you want to show me of K-pop? I would show them an aespa music video out of at a heartbeat. Maybe not dirty work, but I would show them maybe like Whiplash or Armageddon or anything like that. Even Next Level, but yeah. David standing and dancing around is more funny to watch. Okay. I need to go to a nightclub? Nah. I don't want to anger the neighbors. Yeah, I might be permanently banned from doing live streams in that case. I'll have to bribe them. I'll have to go like, oh, 죄송합니다. 여기 뭐 I'll give you $100. I don't think so. You're not even that loud, and they should have knock on the door. Oh? Such a cute baby, yeah. I'm standing up, yes. Get her or him some treats. The baby? Yeah, I do have some treats for her. Yeah, I'll give her right after, but it's 2:30 a.m. in the morning, so after we sleep. Yes. Thank you for the 10. Pizza. Yeah, as you can see, I have a real-time clock over there. It's actually it's 10 minutes behind. 12 minutes behind. Oh no, I should fix that. I think it's because like sometimes I unplugged and unplugged it, and then that just compiled into a time difference of 12 minutes, but it's actually 2:34 a.m. here. Yeah, everyone seems to know Wave to Earth, right? The Rose, yes. David is really next level. Now I doubt it's so much noise. It's a normal sound to be expected in a house. I doubt the walls are that thin, but it's still 2:30 in the morning, so always gotta be careful. Yeah, I mean, you could be used to some like murmuring sounds or like some thumps during the daytime, but like when, especially in Sunday to Monday, like the transition and everybody's just trying to get that quality sleep before they go to work tomorrow morning, and this random guy upstairs is dancing to Blackpink's Jump at 2:30 in the morning. There could be very ugly scenarios. I think there's a Netflix film with Kang Han as the main lead coming out, that has that plot. Like, there's this crazy person that makes noise. I think that's going to be a very culturally unique series from Korea, because Korea is known to have like probably the most apartments. We all live in apartments because of the dense land here and the popularity. And because of that, there's a lot of extreme cases between the neighbors. We have like retaliation devices that amplifies the sounds and sends them back up. And also, people just literally kill each other because they can't stand the noise. Sometimes they ding dong, and then you open the door and then you stab them. I'm not joking. These cases occur once in every, I don't know, like every month or something. There's always a news. We're all just desensitized it, so it doesn't seem that frequent. But there's always a time where, an angry neighbor just visited their neighbor upstairs with a knife and stabbed him. And yeah, it's just always like that in the news. Do you need to have rugs on the floor? In NYC, in the older buildings, you have to have rugs. Nope. Rugs are very hard to maintain, isn't it? I always had a thing about rugs, because I don't know, like rugs seem kind of, to some extent, like unhygiene to me. Like, I don't know, if you're not like a very good cleaner, like if you don't have like hotel level maintenance and like maids literally cleaning the rugs, I would be kind of like concerned about that, especially if people are walking in like outdoor shoes. And I don't know, I'm just culturally not accustomed to rugs. Yeah, especially the big ones. The small ones, like a little rug, like of course you could just fold it up and then just like wash it, or like dust it out in the balcony and like soak it in the sun and sanitize it. But for like the big ones that cover a whole room or something, the custom made ones, I don't know how, like what if you spill like sriracha sauce on a beige rug? What happens? Yeah, rugs will cut down the noise. I should get like those noise blocking foam pads or something. Rugs are not hard to maintain? Really? I have no experience with rugs. Yep. Hello from Serbia. Always wanted to say that, but usually I watch recordings instead. Okay, hello Maxim. Serbia. Djokovic. Oh, my back. Oh, yeah, I'm stretching. Oh. You have a big rug in your living room and get it cleaned every month. Well, that must be a hassle. But yeah, it's good that you get it cleaned every month. I would have to get, yeah, I would definitely have to regularly clean it. But like, we just have wooden floors and we just do the vacuum and just some mopping. And just way easier to maintain, in my opinion. But rugs do definitely give you like a comfy vibe on your feet, I guess. Carpet flooring. Okay, yeah, like carpets and rugs. Yes, exactly. Why are you spilling sauce on your rug? Like this. Oh, I got the food. Oh, oh, here's some pizza, and you're walking around and like breadcrumbs and sauce drips. Like shit happens, no? I always spill food on my when maybe I'm just clumsy, but like, you know, it's either dripping from a plate or something. I don't know. There's a million gazillion scenarios I can think of for me. Oh, you have a cleaning lady. Okay, wow, then that's good. That's good. Acting skills 10 out of 10. Dave is doing slapstick comedy now. The thing, you know, see, like this elevating desk. What this enables me to do. Make him a guest in Korean variety shows. Yeah, I don't really like slapstick though. It's just not my cup of tea. I never thought slapstick was that funny. Yeah. I lessen the stuff that are tough to clean since I live alone. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Is this your house or office? It's my house. It is my house. Switching out carpets for LVP in 2 weeks. Just keeping carpets in bedrooms. Yeah, I could never do carpets because like I'm a very lazy person. I could never do rugs or carpets. Yeah. I have a hard time cleaning my bed sheets and my blankets. Why are you very funny? Well, that's a compliment. I usually don't get that, but I wish a lot more women would say that to me in dates. But oh, excuse me. I'm gonna get out of the frame for a bit because I have some earwax falling out my ear, and I just want to get it out. Yeah. I probably didn't have to say that and let you guys know, but okay, it is what it is. Get a cleaning lady? I don't got that money. I don't have that money. Oh, everybody's leaving for the J-Hope concert. Okay. Hope you have fun. Yeah, I'll probably have to wrap it up soon too, because it's already been an hour and a half. I thought you were in a situationship. Guess you haven't caught up with my Patreon podcast. I talked briefly about dating in your mid-30s in the podcast. Nothing too much, but bottom line, you know, it's just so draining because, especially on the women's side, there's always an expectation that there's always at least a subtle picture or a push for marriage. Yeah, and as I age, you know, like I'm not gonna be able to meet someone who's 22, 24, or 20. If I stretch a little bit, I might be able to date like 25, 26. But that's still like a 9, 8-year-old difference. And Some people think that's creepy, but I mean, personally, if the person is mentally mature enough, I don't think there's an issue, if as long as the person is an adult. But some people are like, oh, that person's barely finished college or anything. Like, she doesn't have any social experience. Well, whereas you've blah, blah, blah. But anyways, like, I personally could date under, like, 10, but no less, no more than that. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is everyone everyone, like, who's, not everyone, but the majority of Korean women in their late 20s to early 30s, they are very, very anxious about their marriage situation, and they are definitely looking for something serious times two, aka marriage potential. And I don't think it's bad necessarily, anything that should be, that should be shoved away or seen in a negative light. I think it's totally fair and valid. And yeah, like, if they want to get married, of course they're gonna push for that, and they're gonna look for that in their potential partner. So they don't want to waste time in having fun or checking out, or like, getting to know a person. They're like, we're talking business right now. Are you going to get married or not? How much have you saved? Where do you live? What are your parents doing? Are they stable? Do you have a nice job? What is your roadmap for the future? Blah, 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 blah. If it, like, this is a little bit of an exaggeration, but little teeny bits of what I all said right now, these are all introduced somewhere down the line, either during the first blind date or during the dates, or whether you're watching a movie and some similar situation happens on screen, and then you use that as like a medium to engage into that kind of context and story. And then she's like, oh, so, like, what do you think about that situation? And I'm like, oh shit, okay, this is like an investigation about my values on marriage. And of course, like, so like, until now, like, until like my late 20s, because like women like to date oppas over here, usually that's how it goes. If I were to date younger, I would have met like people in their mid 20s, and these people have a little bit of room, and they're like still figuring out what they want to do. They're putting job applications in the job market and all that, and like, there wasn't an issue. But nowadays, if I meet someone new, they're always like, so, like, when are you thinking about marriage? Like, what's your, like, not like precise, but rough plan? Like, what do you think about having kids? And they're trying to, like, under the surface, trying to, like, scan how much assets you have, or where you live, or do you have a car, or do you have a established job, or are you stable in life, stuff like that. And I'm not trying to, like, paint them in gold diggers or anything. Like, I think that's a very fair thing to do if you're serious about marriage. It's deciding. It's one of the most important decisions in your life. I would argue, like, the most, maybe even. Yeah, it's about, like, who you're going to spend the rest of your life with for more than, who knows, 30, 40, 50 years. And you got to be very, very careful about that. It's not all about love. I mean, people are like, oh, why do Koreans only think about money? Or it's not like black and white like that. Like, people think about love and all that, but we are very realistic people too, and we know that love and romanticism doesn't feed our mouths. Like, so some people would prefer to have nice apartments and a nice education for their kids, and not having to work after they're retired, and maybe have some luxury to travel around the world, versus marrying a broke person that they really dearly love but see no future of, right? So it's just being very realistic, and I don't think there's an answer for that. It's everyone for themselves. But the thing I'm talking about is, like, for for a person like me, maybe I'm an anomaly, maybe I'm someone outside of the box. I would like to argue that I'm not alone on this, because a lot of Korean men do actually, I think it's 50-50. Some of my friends are already married or considering marriage at this age, or some of them are like, I still need some time. I still need some time to improve or develop myself, and I'm not looking for marriage right now. But the majority, let's just say, like for example, 80 or 90% of the women out there that are in this age bracket, late 20s to early 30s, that's appropriate for me to date, are usually looking for someone to marry. And if there's a discrepancy in that, either you don't get a chance or you break up very early, and people are like, oh, I can't waste time, I need to really at least consider someone that has similar alignments with my values and my pathway of life. So I totally respect that, but I'm just saying people like me have difficulties because of that imbalanced, yeah, you get what I'm saying, right? Okay. Whew. Oh, everybody's watching the J-Hope concert. Yeah, have fun, have fun. Thank you, everybody, for your kind words. It shouldn't be this transactional. I'm telling you, it's not. But then people are just like a little bit more realistic over here. Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily wrong or should be looked down upon, because I quite honestly think, like, of course, if you have like a K-drama story, like you're love struck and there's so much romance and he's the one, you have that moment, you get married and you live happily ever after, that is awesome. That, hooray for you. But most of the cases, it's not always that, sweet, right? So if people are looking out for themselves, go for it, I would say. To each their own, yes. Yes, Crystal and Soul. To what? Marriage is literally the most important business relationship and business partnership you can enter into. Yep. The longer one is single, the more dating gets to be exhausting. Amen to that. Love is not a good enough reason to enter into a legally binding contract. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But anyways, if you're curious, go check out the Patreon podcast. But yeah, I think, as I said in the beginning, I'm going to be focusing more on my priorities and a little bit of more in the work factor. Along down the line, if I interact with someone naturally or whatever, similar values, then I might consider whatever, but who knows? So yeah, I think, I'm just gonna fill the 12 more minutes to make this a 2-hour live stream and end it before that. But I just wanted to show you something interesting that's going on nowadays. The age of MBTIs have kind of faded away. Before I get into that, Hilda, thank you for the 10. Pizza. David, you have an amazing character and personality. You're such a sweet, wonderful guy. They are going to steal you ASAP. Don't worry, in the States, you wouldn't last a single... I don't know. Thank you for the kind words, though, especially in Mexico. I don't know. I don't know, but thank you so much for thinking like that. Even in Korea, like, that was part of my anxiety. it was not only career tied, but it was like, if I don't have stability or wealth, who's gonna like me? I mean, for men, they say for women always say, okay, so like when I've talked to my friends in similar ages about marriage, I'm like, come on, girl, like you you're successful, you have a nice job, like you're decent looking. Um, I mean, men are going to be like looking for a nice partner, and you seem to qualify for a lot of those things. So don't be too worried or concerned. Like, just take your time. Like, go to the right places. Don't fish for men on weird apps or clubs or whatever. Take it easy. Try to find a nice, decent guy. But then women always, my female friends always tell me, but oh, it's so easy for you to say when men have it so privileged, where they don't have a biological clock, they don't have an aging curve or whatever, a societal pressure on them, seeing them as like expired when you're over 35. If you look at like certain shows, like people don't even want to get near people who are over 35 or whatever, and blah 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 blah. And men, and that I agree to. Maybe society might be pressuring that, so I don't have a say in that. But then I would argue on the latter part that comes out from my female friends always saying, like, it's easy for you to say because you're a guy and you can get married when you're 45, 42. But I want to say for that too, there's a logical error over there. There's a logical flaw. The premise for a guy that can get married, like, I'm not saying like just, like with anybody, someone he really likes and someone who society would deem as like, attractive or someone like desirable, is that once the guy is 40 or 42, first of all, you have to well manage your physical health and physique. Like, if that's not the case, the premise should be you should either be rich, wealthy, made a nice foundation for yourself. If those two things are not sustaining that guy, then I would argue, like, if we are going to play that battle of like who's more less valuable or whatever between genders, if there are two decent 40-year-old female and male, and let's say, the guy doesn't really have a good job, or he's just like an ordinary guy, and there's just an ordinary girl, I would say the girl has like an upper hand, like way more. Because I would argue that a guy in his 40s that enters without any kind of wealth or any kind of societal status is on the least level of the societal pyramid. I know it's a very gruesome concept, but if you see it in the lens of the Korean society, I would argue that, guys, and the majority of them dwell there, and it's a sad society, and I feel for them because I have that fear myself too, because if I don't make it and if I waste my time and if my time passes, I will also get expired too, and it's going to be even harder for me. So I don't know, I don't want to make it like a gender war or anything, but I always get triggered when my female friends say like, as I told you, it's one thing to say like society pressures females to get married earlier and whatever. I totally agree with that. But the latter part that comes saying like men have it easier because you have more time when you're like 40 or 45, you're leaving out the part that we have to be physically still attractive and have money and assets ready for that. The only men that are in their 40s and late 50s or whatever that are deemed attractive to people, sadly, in our society, is that people who are rich. So is it easier to get rich, or is it easier to maintain your body like a celebrity? I would argue no. So I think at the end of the day, this is meaningless quarreling, right? But then I'm just saying, like, my candid thoughts, I get triggered whenever my female friends say it just spit it out like that. It's easy for you guys to. No, like it's hard for everybody. And you're leaving out the fact, like, what are the probabilities of someone earning six figures or getting rich and being having everything solved out by 40, even if they're a guy. So, like, everyone has it difficult. I don't think this should be like a weird dick measuring contest, who has it worse or whatever. But yeah, just acknowledge both sides, challenges, difficulties, and try to help each other out, right? I really do get the pain of my friends often saying that their biological clock is ticking. My parents are pressuring me so much, like, your society grades you in like these, marriage mediation companies. Yeah, I totally get that, but partially that's the same for men too. And as for age, it's hard for us as well too. Yeah. Anyways. The reality is everyone loses with harmful social norms are reinforced. Yes, enjoy being single. That's what my married friends all say. Yeah. Shy T, hello. I'm an hour late. You're actually quite late. I won't sugarcoat because I'm about to end this in like 5 minutes. Yep. Yep. So, yeah, I was about to just introduce this, and yeah, I was about to introduce this concept that is now popping off. It's not the MBTI thing; it's a new thing, but I think it's honestly quite stupid. It's even more dumbed down than MBTI. So, MBTI had 16 personalities, right? Now it's about this. It's the Egen nam Teto nam Egenyo Teto. It's basically, are you Teto or Egen? Like testosterone and estrogen, right? Young Koreans turn to hormone-inspired identity tests. And it says, let's say, I get emotionally drained easily and tend to be sensitive in relationships, so I make sure to check their MBTI and whether they're a Teto or Egen type, he said. Identity test introduced herself as follows. I'm an Egen woman, so feminine clothing suits me well, but my personality is more like a Teto woman. I'm bold and outgoing. A new personality classification trend has taken a hold among young singles in Korea with the rise of Teto and Egen test. The test uses analogies of testosterone and estrogen levels to analyze interpersonal styles and energy types. Social media platforms like Instagram, YouTube are awash with with users sharing their results. This is pretty stupid in my opinion because it only has two divisions, right? Whereas the MBTI at least had 16. This is like, oh, I'm more manly, I'm more feminine, and people. The thing is, like, okay, you could do it for fun, but the thing is, people are starting to make stereotypes or how Egenams or Tetonams are supposed to look like or behave like, and it's becoming forced upon some people. So, for example, it's the same with MBTI, I would say. I was meeting with my friends, and one of my female friends were like, "Oh, David, you're definitely an Egenam. You're not Teto at all. Like, Teto guys are supposed to be like, buff. They don't care about their appearance that much. They don't like K-pop, or they're more into like sports, and they don't care about sunscreen or skincare or whatever." So there's like this stereotype being built. And for Egenams, they're supposed to be a little like feminine. They look, self-maintain, do some makeup, dress well, have more female friends. They like Italian food or whatever, fancy stuff. And sometimes when I act out of the box, like I like kukbap, I watched baseball, they're like, "Oh, that's so not Egen of you. I thought you were an Egenam, but why are you like that?" And then when you would introduce someone else, like let's say I want a blind date and I ask my friend, could you get me a blind date? And she tries to get me a blind date and she's talking with her friend and she would say like, oh, first of all, he's an INTP and he's an Egen num. I guess it's kind of convenient to get the other person thinking, like have an image of you instantly pop off and what to expect to some extent. But then at the end of the day, human beings are complex beings and you can't box them into like 4 letters and either testosterone and estrogen. So I think it's kind of stupid. I think it's pointless. I know it's all for fun and we shouldn't be really putting that much meaning into it, but then it actually does have some meaning in like the dating scene over here, and it does have side effects. So it's stupid. It's stupid. That's so Egen of you. That's so not Egen of you. Exactly. I hear that stuff so many times. Yeah. Boxing people is not good. Exactly. Yeah. David, no matter what you are, you're amazing. Thank you. Gang, hoodie gang. Okay. We all have bits of testosterone and estrogen to be human. It helps you balance yourself. Yeah, exactly. And also when men grow old, they get more estrogen too. I'm seeing that in my dad. He's become way more feminine nowadays. Koreans love to put people in boxes and label them. Yeah, exactly. So, let's see. Egen num. Egen num, Teto num. Like, see, these kind of stereotypes that are made. This is like a Teto num and Egen num. And these are what they... what? This is so stupid. What? Okay, let's look at this Instagram post, what it has to say. Teto num, Egen num. Okay, I don't know who... is he from NCT? Do you see what a Teto num and Egen num is? The right side is Egen num and the left side is apparently Teto num. So, a little more manly and a little more boyish, I think? Yeah, Yeonjun is a Teto num, and who is this? I don't know. Is it the same person? He's someone from Rise. This guy, and GD is an Egen num. I think, yeah, honestly, GD looks like an Egen num. And he's Monster X Shanu, and he's Choi-shik, the actor. So he's Teto and he's Egen. I mean, if you think about it, okay, like sometimes it makes sense, right? Like, okay, I'm seeing this and I see it. Like in the case for V though, like V, I would argue that he would be more Egen than Teto if I want to go that route. But then like now he's got buff, like so they're now boxing him in as like a Teto. And we have who is this? It's this Felix. Anyways, it's quite stupid, I would say. Let's see what Wikipedia says. So they even have like something stupid like this. This is like the dating food chain, apparently. So the Teto testosterone boy, the testosterone male is on the top of the food chain. And the testosterone girl is below that. And the estrogen male is below that. And the estrogen girl is below. I don't know what's happening over here. The lines are supposed to mean something over there, but... oh, the blue line means you dislike, and the red lines mean you like. So everyone supposedly likes a testosterone boy, but some testosterone girls don't like an estrogen male. Okay, so yeah, this stuff. What do you call it? How do I make this into English? Okay. Here we go. Teto num, a testosterone male, and their personality traits: strong aggressiveness and hunting instinct. He's assertive, leadership qualities, prioritize logic over emotions, have many friends or are used to living in a group, interested in outside worlds, politics, social status, fame, Likes to analyze, judge, and realistic. Prefer tangible results over abstract ideas. Simple. Once you decide, you push through it. I like challenges and adventures. Oftentimes, they have little interest in fashion, perfume. Compared to men, there are many types who are somewhat insensitive to trends. Prefers simple and classic fashion over excessive decoration. Basic t-shirt, collared shirt, metal watch. Sleeps well in unfamiliar places and is highly adaptable. That is very specific, right? And dating style, the type that expresses through actions rather than emotions. Although the ability to empathize is low, when necessary they act coolly, giving tangible rewards such as gifts and money. There's little affection or emotional change. It's easier to do it yourself than to get a dash. Oh yeah, okay. The ideal type is not abstract, but is simple, clear, such as appearance, pretty, sexy, cute, and kindness. Okay, let's go to Egen, estrogen male. Personal traits, sensitivity and delicacy are evident, and you are rather sensitive. Respond sensitively to other people's emotions as well as their own. Interested in abstract concepts like art, philosophy, literature. They are introverted and often interested in their personal world rather than politics or social issues. There are also cases where one has felt admiration or envy for the masculine male image. They prefer static hobbies over active ones and tend to value work-life balance and rest. They may be ambiguous or neutral in their self-expression. Some people are sensitive to trends or have a great sense of aesthetics. If you're interested in fashion or perfume, you have a high level of understanding and sense in that field. They are often accustomed to decorating their social media and tend to show their sense in their feeds and whatever. Dating style tends to be passive in relationships and is more comfortable receiving than giving. They are used to expressing their feelings through words or mood rather than actions. They value delicate and empathetic communication and are often good at cuteness and emotional communication. There are cases where you can forget your ex for a long time, and the aftertaste of the emotion tends to linger for a long time. In love, I tend to follow the flow of my heart and emotions rather than react immediately. Whatever. Okay. So I've been reading for this for a long time. So for the women out there, if you're curious about what a teto girl is, I'll leave it here so that you can halt the screen and see if you fall into either a Teto girl or Egen girl, whatever, if that means anything for you. So I'll halt the screen, like you can stop the screen like that. This is the estrogen woman over here, personality traits, behavior characteristics, dating style, and all that. So take a look in that in the replay. But overall, I think it's pretty stupid. Yep. But anyways, hope that was fun. New disruptive factor to society. Great. Okay, I might be half Teto and half Egen. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But all my friends say, like, no, you are an Egen num. You are, like, don't even say Teto. You have barely any muscle. You don't play sports. You are very interested in your social media feed, and you like trends, and you like reading books and going to museums and cafes, and you have female friends, yeah, stuff like that. So it's stupid. Anna and the Moose, see you next time. Okay. Dajahao, even for me, I can comfortably say that I am attracted to women who have masculine attributes. We appreciate and compliment strong women in our lives. No Piroso ad today. Piroso is at a halt, so unless it gets live again, I will be stopping the ads for a while. This is not a Stanley Cup. It is a fake Stanley Cup that my mom got me from Taiso or something. It's probably like $2. I'm like, Mom, where'd you get a Stanley? How do you know about Stanley Cups in the first place? She's like, what the fuck is a Stanley Cup? She didn't say fuck, but she was like, what the frick is a Stanley Cup? I'm like, oh, okay. Whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna drink all this milk and say goodbye to you guys. I have to drink this fast because it's until the 16th. It's the 14th over here, so I only have 2 days left. And I don't have any granola or cereal left, so. Okay, bye-bye, Ryan. Seems like everybody's tuning off for the J-Hope or the World Cup or the Wimbledon or work in general, so same goes for me. It's 3:14 a.m. in the morning. I was glad to talk to you guys it was a while. But yeah, long time no see. It was really great. If you want to support me, please check out Patreon at patreon.com/KoreanPizzaclub to get exclusive podcast episodes and watch K-pop Demon Hunters with me, and also future series that you might be interested in. I'm actually looking into watching the Bangtan BTS reality shows that are upcoming, or any new like hyped Netflix series. So check out that perk. So yeah, and if you want to watch K-pop reactions, go check out my channel, Just David. I put up my Blackpink "Do Ya Bum 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 Jump" reaction over there, so check that out. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and comment your thoughts on whatever Egen Nam Teto Nam or the stupid shit I talked about today. It was lovely to talk with you again, and I will revisit you guys probably on Thursday. I'm thinking Thursday. I think I'm considering shifting the weekday lives from Tuesday to Thursday. So for the Americans, it would be from Monday to Wednesday. So yeah, but I am going to set a regular schedule. I'm still figuring it out what's more efficient for me. But I'm thinking highly possible is Thursday 10 a.m. and Sunday to Monday, like Sunday 12. Let's just say Monday 00 a.m. Yeah, this time. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Bye everybody. Thanks everyone for the super chats. And if you sent a PayPal, let me see. Oh, did I get a PayPal or not? If I didn't, I won't have to do a shout out, but just in case, let me check. Oh, I did get a PayPal. Let's see. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Wow. Kelly, thank you so much for the 50 shout out. Boom, 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 boom. Don't let the Korean summer heat get you. Stay cool. Okay, that was sent an hour ago. Thank you so much, Kelly, for the PayPal. And yes, that will go for my air conditioning bills. Okay, and Ida too. Ida, thank you for the 10 USD on PayPal. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I will let you guys go. Enjoy J-Hope. Enjoy whatever World Cup. Bye. Thank you, Dolly Baby. Special thanks to your super chats. Bye. Hobie Palooza. Yes. See y'all there.